a rant. A little bit of a rant. How long do I have?
Forever.
Okay, a little bit of a rant. People are such thin-skinned, whining, sniveling people.
Oh, okay, it's
But
on
listen,
mine.
I know that, but I'm not being negative.
You turn on your light.
I'm not being negative. Relax. I know it's on your feed. I don't want people to see me that clear. I know it's on your feed. But my point is in sales. People thought you can't get told no, thank you, I don't want it, I don't like it, or whatever. I mean, listen, they don't teach wealth in high school. They don't teach it in college. And my God, if they did, I'd have took it, and I wish they did. They may teach some sort of class of economics or something, but it ain't wealth. It ain't about leveraging your time, you know. I'd like to have, instead of 100% of my own efforts, I'd like to have 1% of 99 people and 1% of my own to manage it. I still get the same 100% and I still get the same money, but I only put 1% effort in. That's called leveraging your time through people. We've been doing it since the dawn of Dan, you know, always. But people don't know about it. They don't teach it. We need people to be in the tax system and pay the tax, you know what I mean? But, you know, and residual income, something where I do something right now. It took me half an hour to do whatever this service is that I'm doing, and then I keep getting a little dividend off that service forever. Times 2,000 clients, 3,000. I built what they call, in the insurance industry, which I'm not talking about insurance, but in insurance, they call it a book of business, okay? The difference is you own your book of business in my business, let's say, and in their business, when you get ready to retire, the broker that owns the office, he gets all those clients and divvies it up to the personnel, and you get to retire, but he keeps all that work he built up that book because you're not the licensed agent, the broker, the owner. And here you get to own it for life, and it's willable. I get 5,000 clients, and they're just paying me a little bit. I'm like, yeah, this is nice every month. And then I have a stroke and die, which, believe me, it could happen. My book of business can go to a family member. They don't have to be in the business. They'll just start receiving dividends and the checks for as long as that account's open. Now, they're not going to maintenance it, so it's going to dribble down. People are going to pass away, leave, whatever. You're not going to add to the funnel, let's say. So in 5-10 years, that'll dribble down to not too much, maybe. But look at how much money that person got in the last 5 or 10 years on residual income from you for doing absolutely nothing, just thinking of you and receiving your check every month. You know, and people whine. They go out there and they go, "I want to get rich. I'm going to get on YouTube. I'm going to do social media. I'm going to sell this or offer this service or whatever." And is it tough to get your business going? Is it tough to build that client up? It is tough. It was easy. Everybody'd do it. Quit sniveling. Suck it up, buttercup. Pull up your pants. Learn what you're not doing right. Change it around a little bit and start approaching with a fresh set of eyes. Ask people's opinions. You know, you know, there's like 4 or 5 main questions you talk about when you're talking about this kind of a business and networking and stuff. And that is, you know, is the company money solid? Do they have money chunked away? They own most of the stuff, or they right on the brink?
You need to back up just a little bit because you went on your rant.
Yeah.
And now
What?
You don't have a point. Slow down.
I'm very frustrated with how meek people become sales. You know, I mean, there was a...
Well, you don't know how meek people have become.
Okay, then why am I here talking?
Because the lack of knowledge that's available. I don't think the meekness is what is
Oh, you
important.
mean like
It's the knowledge.
wages or profits are better than wages?
Yes.
Get that? Profits are better than wages. You know, people, residual income, what's residual income? People, I don't know what that is. I don't think you know what residual income is, because if you knew exactly how it worked and what it was, you'd run through a brick wall to get to it. That's how I heard it. And once I understood what residual was, I was like, wow, that's a pretty powerful income. That's a pretty powerful way to do it. And we did it. We were so successful at doing it, they sent me and my wife on a paid vacation for a week out of the country. First time I went out of the country on a sandy beach in my life. But we had made so much sales, they said, hey, you guys deserve this little vacation.
Well, they put a challenge out there, and they said the top 500 people in our company that do these specific things, you're going to make sales anyways, but if you ramp up your efforts...
The best ones that do that will go. And we went.
So when we met and we worked in a corporate office, did we ever have that offering?
Are we allowed to even say that name of the company?
Totally.
Yeah, DuPont.
Yeah.
Corporate DuPont.
So when we worked at DuPont...
In management.
In management. We both were under contract on our own contract.
That's right.
Because we weren't a
I
somebody
negotiated $65,000 and a car bonus and some other stuff. Yeah.
did they say, hey John, you come to work every
Back
single
then.
day and you do what you're doing, and if you do just this a little bit more, we'll pay for a full vacation for you and your spouse. Did they offer you that?
Oh, no. No. Matter of fact, when the first year that I worked in the department, in that office, the year before, I sat down and threw down the financials. And after he paid all the employees, all the insurance, the electric power bill, the rental bill, everything, that branch profited $50,000. 12 months after I spent with him and helped him along, he profited $1 million the very following year. Everybody,
Yep.
if there was somebody, when I started, there was like, 30 of us in the office?
Yeah.
At this time, there's like 60. And he passed out bonuses, a couple grand. I think everybody got, I don't know what they got. I think
I
they
got
got
8.
1 month's wage or something.
Oh yeah.
Or something
yeah,
like that.
depending on how long you were there,
I
you
got a
got
month's wages.
I think I got 1 times 3 because I'd been there. It went on time.
No,
oh
I got
yeah.
1 check wage. 1 check.
Interesting.
1 check. But at any rate, everybody
Right.
got a bonus, and the whole thing changed. Of course, a year later, they sold it to Coke for $3.5 billion, and there we were left without a job having to deal with Coke, not Japan. And that's how the corporate world works. That's how upper management works.
Guess who is
They
watching
offered-
right now?
They offered to send her with corporate to Georgia. I said, you ain't going to Georgia.
Guess who's watching?
Want me to guess?
Yes.
I know
he's-
18,000 people.
Okay, he worked as a
Gary.
contractor. No,
Nope.
he worked as a contractor for DuPont. He was a flooring installer.
Joel.
Oh, nice name. He was a flooring installer. He married someone within the office.
Man, honey, jeez, come on, let me think here. Was he an in-house installer?
He had family in house.
But he wasn't an installer? So he didn't work
He
out?
was an installer. The person that is watching right now.
Is an installer. Was an installer,
he
whatever.
was- yes.
For us out there then.
doing carpet and
contractor.
vinyl. Yeah, he was.
So did
A
he
big
have?
dog.
Did he have? Oh, he was a big dog.
He had a team.
We're talking A team. We're talking
He was one of the
Tipton Young.
A team.
We're talking, huh?
He was one of your A team.
Yeah. Pickens, Chuck.
Nope. I'm not friends with Chuck Pickens.
Oh, you know he knows Chuck Pickens. I'm glad a lot of people that they're going to know because they're all in the industry. Honey, jeez.
Mike Quinton.
Mike Quinton. Hello, Mike. Here we go. Yeah. So, sorry I didn't say Mike Quinton. I'm really bumming out.
Because he,
'Cause I
he
could've said
married
that.
Sarah.
'Cause I should know it all.
And
Get
the inside person was Chuck Young.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Chuck Young.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, what was the topic of our rant this morning?
So our topic of our rant is what they didn't teach us. Wealth 101. They
They
didn't
don't teach
us.
Wealth 101. They don't teach leveraging your time through people. They don't teach residual income. They don't teach that profits are better than wages. I mean, come on. They just don't teach any of these things to these kids. They don't teach it to us. They hide it from the fact they me and Mike, they need us to go to work until we're 70 years old and pay our taxes to keep that wheel grinding up there. So they don't teach this. And the failure rate is high in this industry because of the learning curve of getting to learn how to offer a product or service. Some people just don't get along with other people, aren't good at talking to anybody. And they can't handle no. No, thank you. I don't need that service or want that product. They get like 10 no's, like, oh, I just can't do this. That's not how it works. It's a ratio. You may get 1 yes out of 10 conversations, 10 offers. Just do 100 and you'll get 10 that week. Got that? Just do 100. Work harder. That's what we used to do, pull up our pants, work a little harder. And you get ahead. You'll make that money. But just, there's a few things to remember. You'd rather leverage your time than do all the work yourself. Leverage your time through people. Study that for a minute. Leverage your time. Residual's fantastic. I have it in my life. I get a check every month. If you can find something that gives you residual, builds up a compensation plan that's going to pay you, and it's willable, that's really something worth looking into. I'm down on my boat now, but, there were years ago, I didn't even know what the concept were. And I keep saying wages, our profits are better than wages. Think about it. profits are better than wages. It's just, what
So,
else?
talk about
Because right now, the economy is about to open back up for everybody. It's going to have to eventually. I think it's coming. Whether the housing bubble pops, which is going to happen, and it's going to hurt, and people are going to freak. But the economy is going to start coming back, and some businesses will never, small businesses will never come back. But people will have to make a living, go to work, and trade services.
Well, they said 40% of the small businesses will not reopen. So,
Ever.
Right.
But 30% of those will be filled by people that say, hey, I want to open my business because now's the best time. It's just starting all back up.
Yep.
And everybody takes a chance. Roll that dice. I even thought about it, but I'm in the wrong state.
No, we don't want when you
Washington is not small business friendly. We own
Washington is not.
3 different cities, and they pull the pants right off you.
I agree.
They'll take everything
Smile,
they can.
Santa.
Yes,
Jolly,
Washington State may not be the best place for small. They're not small business friendly.
They're not. However, there are other alternatives when you're looking into purchasing. So we bought into. So let's talk about
How
real
bad
quick.
does this look?
Not bad. It's
Good.
just dark.
It's a little bit dark. I'm sorry. I got a tarp over the side of my boat for the paint to get off, but so it's a little
Dark. So ROI. That would probably add a little bit more. That would add more. The blind.
But it doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Blinded by the light.
I want to get this out before people get bored and hang up or whatever.
Yep.
There's a few points I
Real
wanted
quick.
to say.
So the point that I want is ROI. When I wrote our first franchise check
Yeah.
to buy into business, our first franchise check was $35,000 to own the
Which
rest.
by today's standards is pretty small, but back in the day when we opened it up, that was just to become part of the franchise. I mean, no. That was just to get in,
Buy the recipes
buy the
and
recipes
buy the
and
name.
use the name, and then I could open up a store and make the decor any way I want, whatever. But I get the recipes, the heartbeat of the business, and the name, which was getting well known.
Yes. So now, flash forward, because the ROI on $35,000 to divide that and blah 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 blah
People
blah
don't know
all
what
that.
ROI is, honey.
Return on investment. My return on my investment.
Like R&D, research and development. That's what I'm doing back here. I'll write that off on your taxes. Oh, okay.
Right. So the ROI for the $35,000. First, it took me. I had to find the location. I had to do the build out. We had to paint the walls. We had to put the stuff on the shelves. We had to build the
Well,
bar.
we wanted a blank canvas where nobody had been tainted it, or really wasn't that much of that product out there or service, and really nobody was out there doing that. And when they told us, go out to Kitsap Mall, like, there's a mall in Kitsap. I remember that day.
Right.
Drove across the bridge. I told I grew up here, but there was no reason. Back when I came out, there was a foot ferry and crosswalks and J.C. Penney in downtown Bremerton. And once that left, and I left because their town dried up. I never went back. Quite honestly, I think my mother went to Port Orchard antiquing once and said it was pretty marvelous. But anyway, Bremerton dried up.
So, anyways, we went out. We
Yeah.
found our location. Spent $35,000. Then spent another 69-ish because we were into it. $99,000 before we even turned the open sign on. So, ding ding. We're open. What happened once we turned the open sign on?
Nothing. You know why? We're not McDonald's. We're not Harvey's. We have those in the parking lot and all around us. Back then we were like Store 25,
Yep.
and we were just getting the name out there, and it was tough. I mean, we'd sit in that store. It's all stocked and ready to go. I'm ready to break world records, of course. And we'd do like 30 people for the day, maybe a couple $100 for the business. Probably barely enough to buy the food and pay the light bill for the day, really. And we were like, God, what do we got to do? I mean, I'd stand in front of the inside my store, go, come, and I'd pray to the sales gods. We worked ourselves up to the #1 store there ever was, probably ever will be. We were doing 400 and 500 people in a walk-in 900 square foot room a day. They were lined out the door. I got it on camera.
We had the bestest.
And it was a non-franchise store in corporate. When they became franchise, hated us because they didn't get no royalties off the store. And it was the #1 store ever by John and Marlene. But then the recession hit. I opened up 2 more stores in 2 other cities and loaned myself out. thought the big golden dream was going to just continue on. Then not paying attention to politics, what's going on. I got my world in my own politics. I'm building an empire.
Yep.
I was. I had everything on this side of the bridge all the way out. But anyway, the recession hit, got my pants down, and one by one they closed and picked off my stores until we filed bankruptcy in 2010, I think.
2011 we filed. 2010 we closed.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. So the difference.
So what did we learn about Business 101 and millions of dollars later?
Right.
Hundreds of big-time vendors.
Multi-million-dollar bankruptcy led us to. I do have Alicia says you're very interesting, not boring.
Interesting.
Very interesting,
Love
not
it.
boring.
So
now, flash forward 10 years. 10 years. So much has happened from the collapse of our empire.
$500,000 home on the beach, driving a Land Rover. Our stores were cranking. I mean, I don't want to toot our horn, but me and Marlene really had this business. After serving all these other professionals and doing the business for them, we started doing it for ourselves. And we were cranking. There's just no...
Close your... She's buffing over there.
Buffing. There's just no doubt about it. We were cranking. But
we had the best employees.
Well...
We had other business owners coming to us asking us how are employees so loyal to us?
Do what we want them to do when we're not there because they're cleaning. You're not even here. They're cleaning and talking and cleaning the base. Or how do you get your employees to do all this stuff? I said we only hire top-notch young adults. We don't hire children. We don't have minors here.
They have to be self-managed.
Self-motivated. If you can't handle that, McDonald's across there, the deep fryer will take you every day of the week. But here, you're going to put your big girl panties on and you're going to be an adult. You're going to talk to you like an adult, treat you like an adult. You're going to act like an adult. You're going to do an after-school activity, a sport. Or you're going to do something that's volunteering or something. You're going to do something besides go to school.
You had to be in Running Start or you had to be in a sport. You had to be given to your community
in order
to
work
be an employee. Yeah.
Now they'd probably sue us.
No, those are my standards. Yeah, I'm sure we would get sued by those being our standards.
We don't want
However,
nothing
negative. However, that is my standard, and I would stand by that. And the great thing is we had legal shields. So if someone wanted to challenge me, and I wouldn't tell you. I would. You need to be self-managed. Can you do this?
When I hire the employees, I tell them, look, first I'd ask them how many jobs they've had because they're young. Some had none, some had 3 here, there. I go, okay, listen. But I tell them, you're self-managed and self-motivated. That's all there is to it. You're required to be that way. And my girls are very loyal. My employees, I say my girls, my employees.
Well, yeah, because we mostly had girls. We had 3 guys.
I couldn't keep guys.
We had
They'd
3
steal,
guys.
Lie,
and only one was absolutely amazing.
Oh, I'm sorry. That is correct. We had the best guy employee.
The best
guy. But
guy.
the other guys that we hired, they were spiking drinks with stuff to be facetious to people, like adding extra calories to make them fat, and this, that. And they would steal products, because they were working out, so they'd want to take some creatine, in a cup, and I have cameras, right? And I'm like, I got to let you go. You're a thief. And I would tell all my employees when I'm there, if you decide to sit in a bucket around the corner and do no work out of the camera range and I can't see you, you might as well reach into my till, my register, take out $20 and put it in your pocket. Just steal it. Just reach in there and take it out, because that's what you're doing. And I don't think my employees ever screwed me. I think my store was always clean, stocked, maintained. I mean, I had one employee pass out and hit the floor, and they were lined up at the door. And a guy was
an EMT.
EMT ran up and started drug her in the back, started taking care of her because she went into some sort of epileptic shock of she had a disease and didn't take her medication. That store stayed running. She called. We got Andy to come over because he was local, and that store just kept right on cranking. I go, man, and we weren't in town. We just took a day off, took my wife's little dog, and we went somewhere. I think we were an hour out of town.
We were in Port Orchard. However, we took the foot ferry, and we had both the dogs. We had Isabel, and we had gone to the Saturday market.
That's right.
It was the first sunny spring day.
Yeah.
and we knew that the store was set up.
Crap hit the fan, and but my employees took care of it. These were kids, but we had taught them to manage. I mean, we hired them when they were 16. They got a family, they got grown, they're real estate agents and all sorts of professionals now, but they were kids then.
If you need a real estate agent,
making a go at life, and a couple of them already knew what they wanted. I had a couple of employees that already knew what they wanted in life. They just needed a steady job, making money through these years.
yeah. Safe environment.
So they could accomplish those goals and then go on and be something great.
Yeah. Well,
And
Kelsey,
I'm so honored to be that. Well,
Kelsey, when she asked for a job from you, her employer had a camera on her, and if she sat down to even open a box to unbox
No,
the
he had a
box.
camera so close behind her that we could look at her butt. She couldn't stand that. I don't blame her. They swore at him all the time, in person and on the phone. And then when a delivery would come, they would call because they could see it in their camera from home, because that's how the new management was. You watch it right here. Check my stores from here, from your camera, from your computer. And they'd call and say, stop what you're doing and open that package and tell me what it is. It was just insane. And when somebody do something wrong, they'd swear and yell and cuss. And she was telling me this while she was getting a smoothie.
Yeah.
I said, screw that guy. You come to work for me full time. I'll give you a job full time. Because I know your work ethic is great. I've known you for months in and out. I've been listening to you bitch and complain. She thought about it for a day, quit that guy, and goes, okay, right. Right? And she stayed with me the whole time. She was ready for the next adventure in her life, which was college. And, she was the top 1% of that.
Yeah.
And, it was just an honor to have some of these kids, all the kids really, but some of these young people go through our lives. I wish we could have kept it open, because we planned on mentoring kids like that in every city. And every city that we could be prosperous enough to have a store, we were going to mentor kids. But we didn't make it. We made one mistake. We bought a territory and opened up, and I should have held off, because within 6 months the economy hit. I had people come in and cry. Loyalists. Man, we had a 5 on our loyalist rate. Only Starbucks got a 5.
No, they didn't even get a 5.
They didn't get a 5? I know we got a 5. They came in tears in their eyes going, I can't support you anymore, John. My husband got his hours cut, or I lost my job, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And
36 businesses. We counted 36 businesses that
Literally.
closed before we did.
36 business in the mall area that closed before we finally, before the IRS said, look, man, you got to pay me some taxes? Oh, we're going to close your doors for you. And we decided we ain't nobody closing my doors, so we closed them for ourselves. We had a liquidation with our closest customers. Said, come take what you want. You wanted some vitamins? Now's the day, baby. I got $10,000 worth of surplus on the floor. Come take it. And there was 5, 10 good customers that came in. And they didn't raid the place. They just went over and took their particular stuff they wanted. Because we had to leave everything. That's the law. That's in our contract. We left the blenders, the tables, the bar stools, the seating area, everything as if you just walked in and turned the lights on. That's how we left the store, because that's the only way the landlord has to recoup his loss, because you reneged on your contract.
Yeah, he reneged on us.
I know,
So we'll close on that. We had a multi-million-dollar bankruptcy. We went homeless. We moved into my parents' basement.
You blow by homeless like it was nothing. We were homeless. We had no social network, no employment, nothing. You're homeless. We're in the basement of a house going to the food bank because we had no money, no way to get money. Nobody wanted to hire a 50-something-year-old owner in the middle of recession. No need for my services.
Yeah. So flash forward 10 years, there are business owners. There are business owners going through the same situations that we went through.
Well, then do like you did when it first happened to you. You just started crying and ran in a circle like this for a second.
I did.
Just kind of wigged out. Couldn't deal with poverty. Couldn't deal with being poor, not being successful. Couldn't understand why I'm not deserving. That was the biggest thing. I don't deserve this because you work so hard.
Yeah.
It's not about deserve.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of luck. There's a little bit of roll of the dice. There's a little bit of things that you can't control. And what we found out about business is you don't control anything. in a shop business that we were in.
Right.
You have to be in a computer-based business where you're selling a service or a product. If you have a storefront, a brick storefront, you're paying cams, electric, maintenance, repair, all
Yes.
this labor.
The government is telling you what you need to pay your employees.
Well, you're not in control of anything.
And
Your
that-
taxes go up, your lighting goes up, your cams go up, the wages. They go, we want $15 an hour. All of a sudden, everybody got $4 an hour wage.
But
what?
how do you adjust your product to the end user for that?
Now, who pays for you while you do all this adjustment figuring all this out?
So 2021 business model is very different than past business models.
Well, any of our business models. 2021 is really kind of honed in on the 3 or 4 products and services that we offer. Of course, I retired. I did work for the union, so I got a little bit of a retirement. Pretty much pays all of our living expenses here, and
And I will pimp him out. I will pimp him out. This gets shiny and beautiful white. Smile,
why do I always got a smile, Cupcake?
because you look so much better.
Okay, so
Jolly.
what were we talking about? Yes, I don't mind being. Hey, this year,
Yes,
if it was open, I could be a Santa Claus again for large quantities of money.
yes.
If they have the enchant, 70,000 people the year before I was Santa
Oh,
Claus
I think you
for.
can be Santa Claus for
70,000 people.
something much bigger
People
than
cried
that.
on my shoulder.
Yes.
People asked me to bless them. I had to go back and cry, jerk up and beers myself because, I didn't know it. And when I did volunteer to help because they were short, I guess there's 3 people in the world, 3 men, that are known the most throughout the world. Jesus Christ, our Savior, the Pope, and Santa Claus. I didn't know that. They take Santa Claus serious. When you go pay your money to go sit on Santa Claus' lap as an adult in an adult theme park, it's some serious stuff. It isn't just like laugh, it's serious stuff. So I did it and volunteered. Then they had to pay me lots of money the second year to do it because I go, oh my gosh, these people take this so serious. This is a serious gig. And the Santa Claus I worked with, they looked even better than I did. Extremely professional, anyway,
Let's see if we can put your page down here.
yeah. I wouldn't mind doing it if they had a nice paycheck for me. It's only like 3 weeks long or something. It's long and grueling, really.
I think I want to find you something
people crawling
else.
all over you all day.
Yeah, I think I want to find private parties for you to.
Taverns, bars,
Yeah.
concerts.
Private parties.
You know where I can kind of they'll carry me through the air and over everybody. And I
Exactly.
can go like this and throw some fairy dust sparkly stuff out there.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
right. Who's
yes.
going to pay for that? Of course, somebody might have the money to pay for it. They just need a good-looking Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a good-looking Santa Claus, but some of the real beer that,
You
Well, let me get cut my beard.
Yeah, yeah.
And they look at their dad and they say, I told you he was real. They left me.
You just glitched all that energy. You went. Boom.
Yeah, it's tearing up.
I know.
Kids.
That's what I'm telling you. Yeah. So return on time investment. So right now in 2021, there has been a major shift.
Yes.
Are you Nixon?
Well, no, I was thinking, I was thinking you can go to college for 4 years and drop, I don't know, $40,000 to $100,000 and work that out and work it as you go and pay it off, pay it at the end, whatever, how you want. Or you can take 4 years of what we're talking about. People look at, I worked for this company for 3 years in sales, selling this service or selling this product, and they changed it. And even though I was making lots of money, I don't now, but I really don't want to leave the company. They know you don't want to leave the company. They know you're vested in it. That's why they did it. But they want to drive their profits up and make you work harder. Find a different product, a different service. Do you like the service? Do you like the product? Is it affordable? For real, is it affordable? Is it still expensive? That's going to be ridiculous.
So you need to start by saying there are some things that you need to look at when you're looking
Well,
at
I was thinking that earlier, but I didn't know if I
services.
wanted to go through them all.
Yeah.
The 4 or 5 things, we didn't want to go through those in this time.
No,
And
but you
I
could put a
just
shout
rabbled
out
there.
saying that there are tools within my toolbox. Cookie has stuff happening.
Well, there's just a plethora of wealth of knowledge that we carry.
Yeah.
Classes that we went to. California, Arizona. I mean, there's states all over the country we went to seminars. When you hear great people speak, Jim Rohns, Dave Savula, Zig Ziglar's, you get to hear
John Maxwell.
John Maxwell in person, for real, and get to gab with him for a while, have lunch. when you get to hang out with these people and you get to start thinking their mindset, they're thinking way up here, and you start feeling pretty small because you're down and going, oh, I can't get this kind of money, this product, and this everything. And these guys' mindsets up here, and they just tell you words of wisdom to help you get there, because they've already made that. They've already transitioned from here to there. They can't do it for you. You have to do the work. But they can tell you how to get there, and you got to do it. And that's the problem we found is we've showed people how to do it, and they still won't do it. You can have this and be financially independent, live the life you want, live, the top 5% of people in the whole world ever do. Don't ever worry about money. Get up every day, worry about money. I go where I want and do what I want, right? If you do these things, literally, if you do these things, including myself, right? And you'll be amazed at 9 out of 10 people will not do all of those things to achieve that. No matter how big that is over here for them to get, they still won't do that. Because they don't want to get out of their comfort zone. Can you believe that?
Well, I do believe that. I do believe that. And I
It took
do
me
believe
years to understand that. I go,
Yeah.
I'd run through that door.
Yeah.
That's why I got where I got. But other people are like, oh, no, I just couldn't do that. Are you kidding?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the difference is of having someone who believes in you and having a mentor. I mean, we had Susie DeSantos.
Yeah,
and
mentorship
Susie
is
believed that we were
she was on fire. Yeah.
Yeah, she believed that the tag team
She
of
could see the future, yeah.
the John and Marlene show was the shiznit.
And she was right at the time. But I know this is going to sound corny or not right, but we were in a organization back then. Even though we achieved, we felt we could have achieved much more if the
System were different.
If the system were different, yeah. If the system had changed, and we, in our mind, and still needs to probably change, but we don't know.
Yeah. Well, if the system had taken a moment to listen to what our ideas were.
And change and grow.
And change and grow.
Because they did now.
Because we were so excited to go sit at the Knights of the Round Table with all of those that reached the level that we did that were going to go show up.
They had the powers to make decisions.
And it was like,
And when we got there and found out who was at the Night of the Round Table, and I wouldn't have hired any of them.
No.
Sorry. It's like I went in construction. I worked my way up to assistant superintendent, $120 million job. I thought, wow. And I realized at that point, it's 2 blocks long. It's a huge complex. There's only 2 people that want to be the superintendent of the job. The ones that do it for money, because that's the highest paying spot. Well, the ones that do it, they'd almost do it for nothing. They just love the authority. Everybody, all 500 men work for me. And I wasn't interested in that. I was looking for something for my retirement. I was looking for something where I didn't have to dedicate, 10 hours a day, 6 days a week running a job and screaming and yelling. I wasn't in it for the money and the glory. So I got out of it. I went to work as a project manager for a flooring company.
To use your brain.
Because they said,
Not
can
your brawn.
you relate to contractors? Can you sit in their meetings and talk to them? I'm like, yeah. Good, we're going to hire you. Okay.
That's in the water. Was that in the water?
Any moment.
Any moment we are going to be a rocket.
I know, I'm going to check the TV here because he went by at least 40, 50.
The TV should be safe.
Okay.
Oh, look, there's a kitty.
Yes.
The TV's safe, but you fell down.
I didn't fall down.
I know. I heard it. All right, we're going to close this out.
I don't even know why.
What action step should one take?
It
Oh,
depends
there we
on-
go. Look at that.
it depends on-
Rockin'.
Yeah, here's the rocket. And we're 40 feet, 50 feet, wait, 65 feet from the bulkhead on the
Oh, my
canal.
goodness.
I know, here it comes, I know. And then there's the canal, the big, and it's wide, That police boat, probably 45-footer
So what do you think a police boat is going...
towards the locks.
I thought he was going that way. But anyways, what do you think that they're blaring in the water to go retrieve?
Somebody could have fell in the water up here at the locks. Somebody could have been broke down and they're drowning. They got a call this or that. Most of the time when they get a call, the only time you call them, it's a response.
Yeah.
You don't go, oh, hey, I got a cabin tree. Do you think I got time to come by with your boat? It's overhanging the canal and pick it up. No, you don't call these guys for that. So when you call them, it's something that they need to be at now. a sinking boat and people need to be rescued, whatever. So,
Well, I look forward
at
to
45 miles an hour, that it rocked it rocked the whole marina.
yeah. I look forward to the day that we hear that's happening.
And we go follow
And then
them?
we go follow them.
I can't go that fast. We're in a cruiser.
No, we don't have to go that fast,
Like,
but we
I'm
know
getting home,
we know in the general
they
direction.
stopped a mile up. In 10 minutes, we'll be there. Put on some French toast, dear, would ya?
Yeah, we know they're in a lake, so we won't lose them,
That's true.
but we can be
Well,
looky
what do you
lures.
mean we won't lose them? Sweetheart, I can go out here and go through, right? I showed you. And I can go from Renton to Kirkland in the water. Bellevue, all these different 520, I-90, the university, all this chunk of water. They could lose me very easily. Out of sight, gone. Around the corner. We're in a cruiser, 7 knots.
That's what you usually do. What do you?
That's all we do. Especially in the lake. You seen what it was like out there in the tide up.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy.
With 3-foot waves.
No way.
Blasting
No,
off the
thank
front.
you.
I think we have an upper helm stage. Can you imagine having to drive it from only in here back then? I could see the whole thing from the upper helm stage going, oh.
You know,
wow.
it was one thing in Robert's boat, and I could, for whatever reason, I could handle that, but
But
could
that's an
not.
open off 16-foot ski boat, and this
Yeah.
is, in the 30-foot range.
Yeah.
30 plus range.
I could not do it. I
What?
could not leave this space. I was up there for a little bit and walked around with Dana, but I could not get my body to leave inside here. So
When?
when we were crossing the Atlantic or
I
the
know,
Pacific.
Yes, our first running out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of the most exciting things for me.
Oh, it stressed me out.
We buy a boat, and
Yeah.
we never actually. We did take it. I took it out once.
Yes.
And
So for
then,
those that are watching us for the first time, and there's a couple of eyeballs, this is a boat that that you see.
Yeah,
We live in a boat.
We live in a marina. We live in the canal in Seattle. I asked to live in a boat and live in the canal in the Netherlands, I think it was, or somewhere. And the good Lord seen fit to give me my canal and my boat. And just so you know, right outside my window up here is a great big, probably 15 by 20 sign that says Canal Marina. And we're housed right at the sign. And there's the canal. And we're living in a boat. I wouldn't change anything.
He magically manifests all those words because he said those
How
words.
about when I said we need to live in Seattle and we ended up living in John Street?
Right? Yeah. So clear the clutter.
It does happen. I'm not a woo kind of guy.
You are, because you magically manifested.
I'm just saying. My wife constantly shows me and reminds me when I want something, and then 60 days later when something like that gets closer happens, and she goes, see, you asked for this to happen. I go, what are you talking about? And she reminds me that things come to fruition when you head in that direction and you wish for it and you head in that direction. Things just kind of sometimes will fall into place and give you that.
Does it really take 60 days?
And it could be it's spontaneous. I just was picking. It had been on that particular issue. I mean, we wanted to move. We wanted a job, and we got a job in Bremerton with an apartment.
Yeah.
We needed an apartment.
Yes.
We were homeless. I said we need a job with an apartment, and then I said, hey, I'll give you this job, and you have the apartment in the back. We were like, gone, done. Then we said, you know what?
Well, granted, that one took. We wrote a letter to our future self, which was actually the cover letter to my resume that said,
That's
"I'll
right.
work where I live and live where I work. It doesn't really matter because we just needed a place to work, live and work."
And then we said we wanted to live in Seattle, and they put us on 400 Broadway.
Yes, and there was
Right on the tram, ding, 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 bang, boom, like some on the 5th floor on the back alley side.
You wanted.
We call it the penthouse,
you
my
wanted
favorite
a
apartment.
penthouse. Yeah, I wanted a
Underground
swimming
parking.
pool.
Everybody else had to park out there, man. She parked there.
All the details.
And then they promoted her and said, oh, we're going to take you from here after a year to another building in Seattle. So we moved across to Capitol Hill. No experience with Capitol Hill living.
I had a beautiful closet. My closet was amazing.
That's about all.
Yeah. No, the floors are beautiful. The building,
building was a
was
beautiful-
100 years old.
The building was a mansion in the late 1800s, and a guy went bankrupt, and another guy bought it and took the building, and from a mansion to a bunch of apartments.
Yeah.
So the building itself was stunning.
Yeah.
And the inside layout wasn't so bad in the
It
apartment.
was cool. Yeah. The spaces
But
were
you'd
really,
have
really
the
cool.
wood trim on the floor. It just went into the wall. Because they just put a wall here, right? You know. No.
Yeah.
And we were right in the thick of things there.
Yeah.
Right? And then we found out who we were working for, what kind of company, and how the things are working, and how we don't like this organization, what they stand for. So we said,
No. We started saying, I want to make a change in this industry. How can I make a change?
that's right. How can I
in the
change this industry? It needs to be changed. Yeah.
and help clean it up?
And they offered you a job in the
So
corporate
then-
office
then I- yeah.
in a new apartment.
Yep. So I went up for management, and I would have been in charge of this many people and this many buildings
From the
and
office.
this many tenants. Yeah, from the office.
But
and
she
I
did-
said that I wanted to be out in the streets, but they said there's a lot of meetings that you're going to have to attend. And I said, well, I need to be out cleaning up the buildings, not attending meetings. So then we said, we got a call from Michelle. And Michelle Bernardi said, hey, are you looking for a job? I have a friend that is looking to hire a property manager. And then we went to interview for the job in West Seattle.
Well, you had already set up the interview, but listen to me.
Okay, I'm listening.
You'd already set up the interview. We were going to go to the interview, but you went to the interview with these guys, and then you came back and said, I'm just going to blow off the other interview in Bellevue, who's in Bellevue. I said, no, you're not. You're gonna go make this and see what they have to offer. Even though you love this offer, all you gotta do is go sit there and see what they have to say. And she walked out and said, well, I work here, I took the job.
Yeah.
Because they gave me everything I want.
Yeah.
My apartment, my salaries. We
Yeah.
want you.
We should have been more particular about our
We
apartment.
we were caught off guard. We
I was so-
what? We took it? What? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But we
Which
worked
was
there and
crazy.
fulfilled our contract and cleaned up their 7 buildings for
Yep.
1 year.
Yep.
That was done. Said, I'll write your review for anybody, but our services are over. Fulfilled your contract. That we won't go into the small details of that one. And I said, it'd be nice for you to work for a for-profit.
Yes.
We could live in Seattle somewhere, but work for a company, for a man that is for profit, and you have to make the tenants responsible, and the taxpayers aren't paying, get the taxpayers out of it. And
That would back anything that I would back the contract that I was backing.
that they signed.
Yes.
You got to live by your contract. And they hired us. They how'd that happen?
Because you went to interview with me.
Oh, that's right. We got an interview with Mike, and I said, I'm going in there with you, and I'm going to
Because we were a team.
Yeah.
Even though you had.
And Mike was so excited once
Yeah.
he met us. He said, yeah, I need to get them on, get the contracts, get the buildings, I'll see what they can pay, where we're going to be.
Yes. And
Yeah,
instead of me negotiating what my salary,
Well,
what my
listen,
package would
But
be.
she's right. We went into it horribly, accepted way too low, and took it. But here's the deal.
It was awesome. They were the best people.
They're the best. They still are.
Yes.
And they just don't pay. But that's why they're for
That's why they're for profit.
But, my biggest wish, and I told Marlene this, I need to find you an employer that's for profit, that you're happy with, that loves you, and puts us in an apartment with underground secure parking, so that if I have my another heart attack and die,
Yep.
you're safe, a good job, I'm taken care of and gone, you got a nice apartment, you got underground parking, new car, you're set. And that's what I was trying to set up, because I really thought it was getting to be my time. Fortunately, I had 3 heart attacks in the last year in surgery. But at any rate, and that's
Takes
what I
a licking and keeps on ticking.
that's what I asked for.
Yes.
And I got an apartment on the 2nd floor on John Street in Seattle on Capitol Hill, working for Mike, a for-profit. And they loved us, and Marlene loved them. I mean, we asked for that. I mean, every one of these things that you're hearing, we started in a basement, homeless, going to the food bank, nothing. Couldn't even put gas in the car. That's how bad it
Couldn't
was.
take care of
And
our children and our dogs.
yeah. So, but anyway, not whining.
Nope.
No buttercups whining here. But we came out of that hole and worked our way up to and asked for these things and worked to these things. And every one of these things came to fruition and moved us along to where we're at today. And I can't deny to Marlene, I'm not into woo-woo shit.
It's not shit. Stop saying that word.
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna lay a big woo woo turd on you.
You
ever had?
Sorry, I'm not into the spellbinding stuff. I'm just not that way, but it does work because Marlene shows me every step of the way as we go. right now I want the bottom done of the boat. I'm going to take the tarp off, and I want to refurbish sand, stain, blah, blah, for this summer, and get it undercover. We're next to undercover for life. Your boat ages at 1/5 the rate if it's undercover, just so you know that.
So we could do water demos.
We're that close,
all over.
and then she's got a home undercover, completely usable, little beautiful boat for her and the girls to go out, or boyfriend or whatever. And my retirement check pays for everything, utilities, everything, parking, laundromat, the bathrooms, everything. She's set. It ain't the Taj Mahal. Ain't what I really planned on.
We'll be upgrading.
But we're this close to finishing my request. Then after that, I think we can do anything. We could travel. We could do anything.
We're gonna get an RV. We're gonna travel.
We're gonna get an RV. We're gonna travel.
The second half of we're gonna travel. We're going to be.
I'm gonna play a bright red. Put Rudolph on the side of it. And
I like that idea.
Just wear a hat. And,
I like it. I like it. I think we could get much sponsorship for that.
Spreading the joy.
Yep.
Well, probably not.
Yes, because our focus.
All right. Okay.
Our focus audience loves.
Okay. Robo-San,
Jolly old.
I mean, Coca-Cola took me off. It's now just a polar bear because they don't want to upset anybody, so they remove Santa Claus because he represents Christianity.
Well, hopefully.
I'm like.
Hopefully,
started the Red Santa Claus in 1938.
Yeah, that was a marketing
ploy. He wore all
ploy.
sorts of colorful stuff until 1938 when you put him on a red suit and everybody fell in love with it and it went worldwide. And now we have a red Santa.
Because of Coca-Cola.
Because of Coca-Cola.
But no one's drinking Coca-Cola anymore because Coca-Cola.
And now we go full circle. Coca-Cola removed him.
Yeah, and we removed Coca-Cola.
And we removed Coca-Cola.
We removed them from our life.
Yeah. But Santa still was.
You're getting lots of hearts and loves and thumbs ups.
Well, I had to learn about Santa Claus and the history of Santa Claus because I had to play Santa Claus and people were asking me that. How old are you? Why are you wearing a red suit? Is that a real beard? Rudolph.
Where are your glasses?
Yeah,
you had one little kid that
glasses.
called you out on your glasses. You are getting the love. They are popping it down for you, Jolly.
Yeah, I did forget my glasses, though. That kid's like, well, where's your glasses? It's funny. You should ask that, my little man. And I do it for the kids. When a lady walks up and says, I gave birth 7 days ago, would you take a picture of my baby? And gives me this. It's just...
a little pea pod.
Man, so small. You can smell the baby. That's a baby, just so little. And she's like getting close, puts her arm. She's really, it's her personal first time to get a Santa Claus picture with her baby. And, it's the first year. It's a huge event. She's crying. I'm trying not to cry. I'm like, man. It's important when you play that.
You had families that had multiple generations. Grandma.
Well, they left. He came back and brought 13 of them.
Yeah.
To go around me because they liked me. They go, oh, we like the Santa Claus. I mean, I had people between my legs, on my legs, around me, all around. I had to go, give me my hat.
What would you have to tell them? I need to be in this picture, too.
I need to be in the picture, too, guys. And then they go, everybody wants to move away from me. And that one guy come running, stop, please don't leave, stop. And I'm okay, what? What can I do for you? How are you? Ho, ho, ho. And he walks up and he wants me to witness him. And
Leanne's dropping a bunch of loves. Matthew's dropped some love. So he had a couple. It was the end of the day. They did not have a good exit strategy for Jolly Old Santa Claus, so we had to walk through the event. Walking through the event, of course, everybody wants to stop and take a selfie.
Walk through the event. 70,000 people. I want you to walk through this event, Santa Claus. It's a winter event. But don't talk to anybody. Right.
Yeah. Yep. So he had...
Well,
he had a gentleman stop him and ask him, will you please witness me sharing my love and proposing my...
And bless our union.
And bless our union. Yeah. Yep. And so I took the phone from the guy and recorded them.
And then there's that young couple. Just got married. She wanted 3 girls and have a good paying job. And they asked me, and they came up and said, will you bless me? I said, I bless for you to have lots of children and be very prosperous. And they started crying.
Yeah.
Because that's what they wanted.
Uh-huh.
And they were so happy to be blessed with, they wanted 3 girls and a good paying job. He just got hired at, it was Microsoft or one of the big corporations, and they just got married. And I was like so proud of him. But it's hard to be part of people's lives. I just wanted to be Santa Claus and sit there. That's what I thought I was going to do. Ha ha, click, click, oh. But it's not like that. You are a character. You are somebody. And they take it real. A lot of these people that come up, I guess they pay $75 to come in the door to get into the event to begin with.
Yeah.
And they're going to pay, God knows what package they pick to even visit with me or take their picture with me. It's an event, and after thousands of people, man, you get to know something about people and humanity, and it changes you inside. It changes you inside. That's probably the biggest thing for me. It changes, It took a little bit of the coal off. I know, as you can say, I squirted a tear. It's not unmanly to squirt a tear. It just means I have really strong, deep emotions. I'm on Marlene's channel.
Yes, smile. You're getting lots of loves and thumbs up and hearts.
So anyway, I would like to do that this year, and I want to get the book cleaned up, put it undercover, and the next chapter of our life, and I'd like to get some people involved in what we're doing.
Yeah.
When I have it pulled out.
Yeah, to have
the bottom title. We're going to wash ourselves, have it printed, and do this.
Many hands make light work. So
that's right.
To come down and you want to come down and grab a brush, and because we're going to be scraping and painting and cleaning and.
Plus, I've had a stroke, by the way, and that makes me very emotional. Okay, just so you know, I can't sometimes control the emotions, whether it's anger or love or whatever. And, I feel the pain of people. I never used to feel it so much. I could rationalize it and just give you an answer.
It's called being empathic.
And now I can feel it and I don't like it.
Like it. Once you like it, once you own the power.
It's draining.
Well, I know.
No, it's mentally draining.
I know. Well, that's.
You have to take a nap afterwards, like the end of a seance or something. It's like, what'd you do? I just worked out. I did 32 reps of this weight. 32 reps of that weight, 32 reps of that weight, 32 and then I ran a mile. And I took a shower.
That's why it's called healing the healer. Because the givers give, and as givers give, they just spill. And if you're not going to pour back into you where givers gain...
All I know is
which I know that you do because I Reiki you. That was me putting my hand over your heart. You get Reiki'd.
Yeah, and all I know is that my wife... took me to Mexican dinner last night, and I had the best fajitas ever. Pork.
Happy joy.
And I ate until I mean, no. Here's something. You see this little gap? There's not much of one here, right, between the table. When I was younger, you just slide in and out of booths, right? Gosh, I don't know if they made the booth smaller, or if I just gotten shorter and wider. But now I slide in, and the table's right up to my belly. I feel like, just bring me some food. That's how I feel sitting there. I go, where's the room? We used to have room. There's no room in the restaurants anymore. It's like, okay, maybe I did put a few pounds. But come on. They tighten up the tables?
Leanne, you are so awesome. Thank you for all the love that you're popping in here.
Yes, I love everybody. And stay tuned for our next chapter here, because it's been a long winter for us with the COVID and everything going on. And in and out of the hospital.
3 heart attack surgeries.
But
don't.
We're gonna get
you're,
back.
You're so broad that the camera angle does not get your whole guns.
Well, they're not really guns anymore. They're barely pistols.
Pea shooters.
They used to be cannons. Now they're. I'm gonna sand that over there and paint. I'm down to finish work. I don't build the structure anymore. I just do the finish work, right?
Upkeep, the maintenance.
Yeah, keep maintenance.
Yeah.
But we're really close. A couple of boats gone. I think we're gonna get an undercover spot.
No,
I'm excited about
that. Go
that.
talk to Jim.
It is cooler in the summer because you're not in the sun.
It's okay. I can go sit
but
in the sun.
But our boat ages at 1/5 the rate. When I finish caulking it, sanding it, fix some of the fiberglass, and get it all done, it'll be good For as long as you're alive, it'll float. You don't have to do nothing.
I want it to be as long as our grandchildren.
Every couple of years, you pay a guy to come over and swim underneath with scuba and wash the bottom.
This is...
That's it. Wash the bottom because it's fresh water.
Oh, yeah. We'll be doing a Will
You
workshop
don't need to do the bottom for 10 years.
We'll be doing a Will workshop on Sunday at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time because jolly old Santa Claus needs to update his will because this vessel is not listed to anybody but him. And we want it to go to our grandchildren if, in the event, we leave this earthly plane.
I'm never leaving. Not. I've decided that.
Thank you.
Even though the doctor said, the next time I see you, John, I'm going to have to part you open. I said, you won't have to worry about that part because it's signed that, be no part, John, open.
You just switched the purity of energy.
Yeah, be no cut, be open. John was a nice guy. That's it.
John was a nice guy.
What happened? He told me to tell everybody this. I took the checkered flag. I took the checkered flag.
You took it away from him?
No, I took the checkered flag. I won. It's over. You gotta make your way all the way through life. The end reward is that you get to go wherever the next step is. So I've had 3 heart attacks and a stroke. I got Graves' disease, COPD. When I finally get there, and I ain't giving up, they're gonna drag me across the line. I'll have a checkered flag. I'll see the next step is. But I'm not afraid. People are afraid of dying. It's not the fear of dying that everybody hates. It's the regret of not seeing anybody. Not the fear of dying. I always thought it was the fear of dying until now I know. Mm-hmm. After, all 3 of my heart surgeries were in the hospital with nobody there.
He had no idea. He actually woke up in the first heart surgery and had no idea that he was going into surgery because I was told I wasn't allowed to be there, so I couldn't be there with him. Cray. But here he is, 3 surgeries later, 10 COVID tests shoved up his nose later.
Gray matter brain cells are missing. Hey, but the whole point is I'm still here and I got shit. I'm sorry. I've got things to do.
Yes.
And I'm really close. It's getting spring's here now. Granted, it just started a few days ago. It's
Yay!
not quite.
Last week.
But, yeah. But, it's here and things are going to start kicking up. I can't wait to get the boat cleaned up better off so that we can start traveling all of the lake and go off the locks and go to Gig Harbor and spend the night and do whatever we want to do. It only costs me gas, which I used to think is no big deal, but now that gas prices have risen, it'd be a little more expensive.
Yeah.
You think gas is expensive on land?
So we
Go
may
to
be
a dock and buy it.
Yeah, right. So we may be having some tours, some virtual tours where you can drop some pennies into our pot
Yeah,
to
when
be
you pull
able
up to the dock and dump in 100 gallons in your dual tanks, 50 and 50, right? That could be a lot of money.
I think we paid $600 or $800 last time the one time we filled our tank.
Both of them to see what they hold.
Yes.
Yeah. So you burn some fuel. I got a small block old '60 Chevy V8. I think it's a 283.
We'll be sharing that later, and going live while we're
She always
watching.
wants to go live.
Yes, it's good stuff. Yeah, give me a thumbs up. Drop me some emojis.
Oh, I learned this. This is laughing. I'm not sure how this works or why.
Oh, we just got
Wait. When you're not, you can't clap in a meeting, right? Everybody goes like this. Imagine 9 screens of people. And they're all
25.
going, 25, and they're all going, which is representation of clapping.
It's American Sign Language clapping.
Oh, that's what I'm doing. Okay, so I guess I was making fun of it. It's not really funny now because, that's sign language. Took the humor right out of that one, right? So I went, okay, I feel bad. I wasn't making fun of it. It's really unique to see 25 people going, which is representation of sign language of clapping. Make me feel horrible.
Why would it make you feel horrible?
Because I thought you guys were just making up shit like
you
this.
thought that was me making that up, and now everybody is
it. Like this to represent clapping. And then you tell me, oh no, that's American Sign Language. You're making fun of people that are dumb. But I'm not.
No, you're just making fun of me.
I'm going to get a ponytail soon. That's the other thing.
Yes. Yes.
I'm never going to get a haircut. Ever.
Nope.
Well,
Yeah,
I always trim the hair around my mouth. I got to eat and drink.
Yeah, until it comes. We need to make it grow up and go. Whoop.
I can do that. I just